9/11, I think, changed New York, the world, forever. I understand that you were one of the bravest, the selflessness, and was actually there helping recover some of the casualties. Did you share that?
9/11 was one of the greatest days, weeks, months of my career. Hands down. Of everything I had been through. A lot of people are not going to be able to handle this one. 9/11 itself. 9/11 itself, the day of, I was the control room captain in command on Rikers Island. And there's no way around this. People can believe or think whatever they want to think, but the people who were there with me, God allowed me to hear it before it happened. I didn't know what it was. All I heard was confusion, and it was just crazy. It was chaotic. It was cataclysmic, and I didn't know what was going on. And I called for a radio silence. The assistant warden at the time called me and said, "Captain Parker, what is so important that you called for a radio silence, and who gave you authorization to do so?" And I couldn't immediately explain it because I still didn't know what was going on. I said, "I'm trying to hear something." And there were distractions. I had already, I'm not even 100% sure why, started calling the other captains and asking them to lock the jail down. Just lock it down because something's not right. I don't know what it is. I really didn't. So I told the assistant warden, "Do me a favor, indulge me in my folly since you already think I'm crazy anyway. And then you could do whatever you want. Turn on your TV." He said, "I don't have any reception." I said, "Turn on your radio." He said, "Oh my God, a plane just hit the World Trade Center." I said, "That's it." I know, it made sense.
It made sense.
It was sounds that I had never heard before. But now I understand the sound that I was hearing. I heard the sound. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Come on in here." When I came in, I had the bomb plans, evacuation plans, everything laid out on the desk. And now I'm setting up a command center. Like you see on TV with all the people in the room. Everybody's got an assignment. And you're like, "What is going on in here? What are these?" And I realized, wow, you got promoted. And you never saw any of this. You have, in my mind, I'm not verbalizing this, but I'm thinking, you have no idea what's going on. We have a little bat phone. No dial. It's a direct line.
Just a direct line.
You pick it up, it rings that in. It rings, you pick it up. It's one, that's it. On a low frequency line. And they looked. I said, "You're the highest ranking officer in the room. You want to answer that?" They were like, "What is that?" I said,
Wait, so
yeah, they didn't know about it.
They didn't even
They didn't know what that was.
Phone.
They saw it.
But they had no idea what it,
had no idea what it
what
was.
the ring means.
Yeah. They picked it up. Said, "We're in red alert. Follow protocol." And they looked at me and said, "How did you know?" I said, "I heard it." Now I'm in a room, no TV, no radio. I said, "But it's much more quiet in your office. But I need all these people." And I set up. Then the chiefs came through. And one of the most amazing things for me, we have this cute little thing called a radial log.
Okay.
a radio log lists everybody's name in the department in alphabetical order.
Okay.
And then there's a whole Excel sheet with every category of training and qualification that you could imagine.
Mm.
If you speak sign language, there's a column there for you.
Mm-hmm. Your skill set on display.
And they went through the radio log and said, we were following his command today. If you could have seen the bosses and the haters in the room go, him?
Mm.
And I was like, oh no.
Mm.
All of these? Oh no. You're not dropping this weight on me. I said, no wait, comes with the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a choice. And I spent the rest of the day praying with people.
Mm.
It was a beautiful day. Because now I have autonomy.
Mm.
2 officers in particular, I scared myself. God allowed me to say something. And it's scary when you don't know.
Mm.
But I said it so fast, and then all I could think was, oh, I hope I'm right.
Mm.
I hope that was him, you know. One officer was, in pieces, because her son was over in the Middle East. He said, if they're doing that here, imagine what they're doing to him there.
Mm.
And I'm like, so I gave her the consolation. But the bigger one was, I said, listen, I need your head in the game.
Mm.
Can you leave the country now and help your son? But for us to survive, this team has to work flawlessly as a team.
Mm.
There's no individuality here now.
Mm-hmm.
Team. If you're not part of this body, this unit, this team, you need to go. And if your head is not in it, you're a liability. Okay, I'm going to get it together. The next one, she had lost her first child.
Mm-hmm.
And her second child was on a school trip to the World Trade Center.
Mm.
And I took her and told her, I said, listen, long story short, I assured her, which you should never do.
Mm.
Legally, you should never do. It's like a kidnap victim. You never tell them, we're definitely going to get them back. No, we're going to make every effort. Mm. We have everybody on it, but you don't make promises to people. They will hold you accountable. And I said, your child is okay. Mm. And you'll be able to find that out real soon. So I set up on a low frequency line a call out for the officers to now contact their family. Want to let them know they're okay and to find out, who's what. She calls the school. Tell me how the whole class got on the wrong train. Mm. You know how the 2 and the 5 and the 3 and the 4 split? Mm-hmm. They were on the wrong train, and the train was already rerouted, and they were back at the school already. Mm. She just looked at me. And I said, I ain't know how. I'm just glad it is.
You know how.
I'm saying I don't know how, but I'm glad it is. When I heard it, I didn't know how it was going to happen. I was just hoping I wasn't wrong. Then we went. We dispatched officers to secure the perimeter. We were doing search and rescue the next day, as a volunteer. They didn't even have a hazmat suit that could fit me. So I was in pieces, in the toxins, in pieces. Day 3, I got a hazmat suit, a full hazmat suit.
Day 3.
Day 3. Yeah, well, again, I'm sure they had them for other people.
Mm.
I got mine day 3. And we're now no longer, they tell me we don't need you now. I was a little offended, but they called me back later to then do recovery. For anyone who's not familiar with the terms, search and rescue is looking for live bodies, and recovery is looking for something other than live. Again, my radial psychological profile said that most people are excited to find a live body. They're excited. They can be a hero. I saved someone. Not many people are excited to find something that's not breathing. And so it was tough. That, I thought, was probably the toughest days. Because now you're finding everything. For anyone that's ever been in a war, you hear someone talk about the war and the trauma that they have from it, from the things they've seen. It was a war scene. Pieces. The worst one for me, because I have a Scarface syndrome, is we found a woman, she was decapitated. And okay, until we turned her over, she had a baby. She was trying to protect the baby. And the baby died of smoke inhalation.
The baby was whole.
Baby was whole in her arms. She's decapitated. That one.
Could it not?
All the rest, I know that I have a level of disconnect. So the analysis was that my mother created the disconnect. After seeing my mother in her bed, there was no one deceased that could affect me like my mother anymore. So once I got over that grief of being able to deal with that issue, who could affect me more than that? I have, the sympathy and the empathy for those who have various issues and parts or pieces, but a deceased body? I'm not callous, I'm not insensitive, but it's not going to affect me the same way.